Story 1. I must preface this by mentioning my grandmother shared this tale with me. Her recall is remarkable, able to recount events from half a century past as vividly as last week. This unfolded in the late 1970s in metropolitan Detroit. My grandparents resided in what was then considered the outskirts, on a dirt road flanked by fields, woods, and farms a mile north. Their house occupied 10 acres, set back from the road. To their right, about 200 feet distant, stood my great-grandparents' home. Left and right of their property lay roughly half a mile of fields before a main road. Living there with their 3 kids, my grandpa worked midnights at a local auto plant. One night, around 11 or 12, Grandma sat watching TV when a knock came at the front door. Peeking out the window, moonlight revealed no car in her driveway or visible on the street. Credit to her quick thinking. They lived in a tri-level home, basement half underground, upper floor lower than a standard 2-story. She went upstairs to their bedroom, opened the window above the front step, and looked down to see a man at the door. She called down, asking what he wanted. He claimed his car broke down up the road, and he walked back to use her phone, explaining he was en route to his girlfriend's place at the corner. The flaw in his story? Where he said his car stalled was mere yards from his girlfriend's, yet he'd walked half a mile away instead. Sensing inconsistencies, Grandma told him she couldn't help. The man grew agitated, pleading to use the phone quickly. As she leaned out, refusing, she suddenly heard rapid footsteps on the gravel driveway in the dark, then a crash as a second man burst from beside the garage and hit the ground. Instantly, the porch man sprinted off. Looking back, she saw a third man atop the fallen one, pummeling his face with fists. Moments later, the beaten man wrestled free and fled. Unbeknownst to Grandma during the porch conversation, an accomplice had been pressed against the house by the garage, waiting for her to open the door. But next door, visiting my great-grandma, was my cousin. He'd seen the 2 men approach, watched one hide, then saw the other knock. He sprinted over and attacked the hidden man, who dropped instantly. Fun fact, my cousin was then a Naval Pacific Fleet boxing champion. Grandma called police. The men's vehicle was never found. However, 2 teeth were found on the ground, a memento Grandma keeps in a glass bottle to this day, proof one man got his due. Story 2. My wife and I went to see Skyscraper last night. It was okay. We got home around 9 p.m., living in a new, safe, upper-middle-class development. Our mailboxes are grouped at the street's end, so we don't check daily. Knowing an Amazon package awaited, we stopped. Alongside the package was a typed letter addressed to me. No sender name, but a return address from the street behind us. We barely know anyone here. Driving off, I opened it. The shock. We are watching you, Mr. Sex Pervert, accompanied by 2 creepy eyes. My wife was upset. I was furious and baffled. For clarity, I'm no pervert, faithfully married, no fetishes, never accused or done anything remotely perverse. If anything, my wife calls me too bland. Urged by her, I called the sheriff. They deemed it creepy, promised to send someone but couldn't say when. Things got weirder. Home barely 5 minutes. Our car alarm blared. Sometimes I hit the panic button accidentally, but sitting by the window, hitting stop did nothing. Frustrated and in a foul mood, I threw the fob. It broke. My wife turned it off with hers. We decided to drive and find the sender's house before the sheriff arrived. The house number didn't exist, skipped during street numbering, but it would have been directly behind us. Pulling up, neighbors next door and across were animatedly talking. Apparently, their car alarm had also gone off, parked between our houses, while ours blared. The neighbor across heard both and came out, spotting a man in a black car, lights off, who sped away when seen. He gave chase on foot but couldn't get the plate. He also called the sheriff. Minutes later, 2 deputies arrived coincidentally, one for each call. They asked if I had enemies, exes, family issues, or accusations. Truthfully, no. They took a report, collected the letter, gave a card for future incidents. I barely slept, dumbfounded. If you know my address, using a non-existent return address suggests local knowledge. My name/address are on the HOA site, maybe sourced there, but I've done nothing. My imagination races. Was the car coincidence? Insanity? My wife is scared but trusts me. Ideas on next steps or motives appreciated. Story 3. Around age 13 to 14, I joined my best friend Pat, his dad, and uncles on a camping trip, a guy's weekend, coming-of-age ritual I now do with my kids. Fishing, campfire cooking, our first beers, tent sleeping. We drove far north. Exact location fuzzy now at 30, but roughly 2 hours north of where I live. We parked Dad's truck roadside in brush, canoed a distance downriver to a lake, and camped waterside. Across the water stood a decrepit, abandoned-looking cabin, sagging roof, overgrown bushes. While Pat's dad/uncles fished and drank, they surprisingly let us adventure, even canoe over to the cabin. Hindsight, I wouldn't let my boys go that far unreachable now, but they were drunk. Being boys, we went. Outside, it looked derelict. Unlocked, we entered, a mistake. Inside was clearly lived in. Porn magazines, a bong, weed tray, beer bottles, and 2 hunting shotguns on a living room shelf. Foolishly, we handled the guns, never fired, feeling cool as we explored. One room unnerved us. Naked store mannequins with assorted wigs. Feeling deeply off, we replaced the guns and left. Back at camp, we told Pat's dad, stunning him. That evening, fishing resumed. Pat caught a fish his dad cooked. During dinner, 2 men in a motorboat stopped by. Friendly at first, they joked. We assumed fellow campers. They invited us to their cabin, the one across, to hang out. Pat's dad declined. They lingered. Weird looks were exchanged. They drank heavily and asked if just Pat and I would go. Pat's dad sternly refused. Awkward, they stayed until dark. That night, Pat's dad and uncle stayed up by the fire while we lay awake in the tent, creeped out by the cabin guys, their wigs, porn, guns. We eventually slept. Morning saw immediate packing. Pat's dad cut the trip short. The trip back involved discussing how freaked he was. Pat and I talked about it over the years, but we had a falling out. I never asked the cabin's location. No desire to return. Story 4. A few weeks ago, as a female dog walker often alone in parks/forests, aware but incident-free until now, I walked 3 small, unscary dogs. A middle-aged man, thin, hoodie/shorts, normal-looking, appeared suddenly. He struck up polite weather chat. Out of nowhere, he said, "I saw another lady dog walker yesterday with a nervous dog. Tried helping socialize him." Weird, he didn't seem to know her. He continued, "Yeah, I know dogs." Took out my slip lead to acclimate him. She freaked. A slip lead tightens when pulled. Processing this, he pulled a slip lead from his pocket. One dog, usually friendly, growled warningly. He laughed. Unease hit. No dog with him. Why carry a strangulation device? I excused myself, citing my dad waiting in the car. He watched me leave, dogs growling back. In my car, processing his words/actions and my gut feeling, I called police to report him. Story 5. Around age 20, newly single, female, exploring apps, I matched with Alex. Not my usual type, but profile seemed cool. In school, car, job, friends. We talked. He seemed into me, set a driving date. He picked me up. I sat in his car for hours driving, young/dumb choice. He drove 40 minutes downtown, blasting music full volume, windows down, screaming lyrics. Sidewalk stares ensued. When I said it was loud, he insisted, "Nah, everyone loves it." They didn't. Downtown, he parked outside a prominent tower, lay on the ground staring at it silently, strange. Hopping up, he said, "Let's get food," driving hours further out. En route, he spewed racist remarks, then abruptly confessed deep depression/trouble, asking if I related. Shocked, scared by his vibe, and trapped in his car, far from home with him knowing my address, I played nice. We ate, he paid. Driving back, he took the long way. 1 hour became 3. Back in the city late, 11:30 p.m., he entered a dark neighborhood, speeding around tight corners. I asked him to slow. He looked emotionless. "I've had hard days." I said, "I know, sorry." He replied, "I used to get so mad I drive like this hunting squirrels to run over, so something else hurt like me." Terrified, I asked if he still did it. "No," he said. I doubted. Fearing reaction, I stayed polite. Near home, 10 minutes away, he asked if I knew an upcoming park, bottom of a cliff. Despite it being midnight, I said yes, no way going down there. "Perfect, you can show me," he said, turning down the dark, empty lot road. I thought I'd be a victim. Tone/mannerisms eerie. He forced an intimate kiss, got handsy despite pushbacks. It didn't escalate further. He drove me home. Story 6. 7th grade. I wasn't stupid or ugly. In shape from soccer/gym. Very obviously underage. Face looked 10. Backpack. School next to the Starbucks where this creep worked. In a bad place then, I journaled encounters. Age 12, nearly 13, new area. School started 8:40. Mom dropped me at 7:10. Due to TX heat/rain, she dropped me at Starbucks next to school, many kids there. Awkward in new places, I sat outside sweltering first day. Regrettably, letting the creep see me alone. He approached, complimenting my hair/face. Uncomfortable giving my name. He made it his mission to learn it. Days later, I went inside. Journal entry, a month in, worker won't leave me alone. Free drinks, talking, guilty/sick. Feels like hitting on me. Sang about me to music today. Busy, I snuck out. Memory, entering. He mopped to music he controlled. Saw me, sang badly about my clothes/hair, Rapunzel-like. Handed me my usual as strangers watched. Knew my schedule. Sat facing register usually. That day sat back turned. Felt guilty accepting free things. Sister called me spoiled, so I refused offers. Next entry. Dropped off early. Begged worker not to be there. He was. Called my name. Mispronounced Jakakoda. Gave drink for my teacher by name. Hate that. Gave drink back, left. Context. Previous day. History teacher, lanyard/ID. Entered. Creep asked teachers my identity. History teacher confirmed Dakota. Next day, creep called misheard name. Pushed hot drink at me. I'd had cold one. Asked why. Give to teacher. He kindly gave your name. Frazzled, I returned it. Journal corrected fake memory of delivering it. Next entry. We all have that person. Starbucks worker. PS wanted to be writer. Dramatic, but petrified. Last mention. Saw him after school talking to smoking women with kids. Put up. Didn't want him seeing me. Saw him frequently rest of year. Only treated me special, knowing I was minor. Frequently called me beautiful. Once asked if I wanted his name. No tag. Wouldn't say yes. Wanted to warn others. Gave endless free drinks. Likely paid $100 plus. Story 7. 2 years ago, driving 5 hours to work, already dark. After 3 hours, tired. Coffee/snacks at gas station helped briefly. Soon, exhausted on a dark, deserted pine forest road. Nearly drove off asleep. Spotted a small pull-off pocket P/switch driver's spot. Stopped, checked for noises, silence, locked doors, keys in ignition, reclined seat, removed shoes. Fell asleep instantly. Woken by bright light. High beams from a car behind blinding via mirror. Saw a man walking beside my car. He jerked/pulled my left back door, trying to force entry. Seat reclined. I slammed back upright. Couldn't reach pedals. Honked horn. Dude jumped. Gained seconds to adjust seat. Still awkward. Drove off screeching, upper body unsupported. In mirror, saw him standing with 2 others. One held a wrench/crowbar silhouette. Trembling, sped 30+ minutes over limit. Stopped at gas station. Realized I'd only slept 10 minutes. Drove awake to destination, fenced/alarmed building. Told boss, said area has road pirates, forcing stops to rob cars. Or, 3 nice dudes checking if I was okay. Why not knock? Thing in hand could have been a flashlight. Story 8. 2014, age 17, took bus to school. Walked blocks home to apartment complex. Walking home, a Honda van pulled over. A girl introduced herself. New. Wants friends. Gave number. Planned dinner. Day or 2 later, same van picked me up. Man driving. Another girl inside. Unmentioned. Ignored red flags. At dinner, man dominated conversation. Fake nice voice. Questions. Claimed he could read minds. Revealed personal info. Believed him. After, stopped at their house. Different city. Red flag versus her claiming she lived near me. Nice house, Mercedes. Said they were roommates hustling. Man drove me home alone. Pushed joining their lifestyle. Days later, only texting him, girl barely talked. Tricked into thinking him nice. He asked me to pack clothes, spend the night. Convinced me to leave mom's house. Texted mom I was moving out. Almost 18, she oddly okay. Then, facade dropped. Revealed girls were sex workers. I'd become one at 18. Dictated hair/dress. Gave new phone with tracker. Banned contact with family/friends. Insisted he heard my thoughts. Punished mistakes. Duct taped hands/feet. Tossed vagina. Stabbed with screwdrivers. Thrown from 2nd floor. Punched unconscious. All while smiling. Eyes seeming black. Forced to watch gore/decapitation videos. Knife to neck. Had sex daily when girls worked. Told I was special. Only one he was intimate with. Threatened death if I left/talked. Detailing how/ where he'd kill me. One beating, stomach choked, head nodded, caused blackout. Woke tunnel visioned, unable to stand. Knew he'd kill me. Risked escape overstaying. Waited for loud snoring. Ran with nothing. Tracker phone. Made it. Avoided mom 3 months. Fear. He came looking at her apartment. How he knew location. Reached out. She'd filed missing person report. Thought me murdered. Later stripped. 2017. One girl set him up. He's now in prison. Detectives found me. Articles exist. Still friends with the girls. Not their fault. Story 9. Last year, as a female Uber Eats driver, side gig, I normally avoided late nights. Low pay, rare tips. But a bonus, $75 for 15 deliveries, tempted me. Smooth night. Finished last McDonald's run at 2:30 a.m., cashed bonus. Driving home in downtown San Diego, sketchy past 16th Street, homeless camps. Drove a crappy 2002 Ford Focus, manual windows. Delivery habit, windows down for easy handoffs. Planned to roll up before 16th, but didn't get chance. Turning a side street, saw a man in orange construction vest roadside, common downtown at night. Closer, he ran into the street waving me down. Slowed to 10, then 5 miles per hour, thinking traffic reroute. He jogged to block my car. Immediate unease. 3 a.m. Dark, deserted. Froze. Realized late. Not construction, just hard hat/vest. Creepiest prolonged smile. Homeless or 60s looking. Wild-eyed, twisty, AHS grin. Jumped onto hood, pounded fists, crawled, told I was special, only one he was intimate with. Threatened death if I left/talked, detailing how/ where he'd kill me. One beating, stomach choked, head nodded, caused blackout. Woke tunnel-visioned, unable to stand. Knew he'd kill me. Risked escape overstaying. Waited for loud snoring. Ran with nothing. Tracker phone. Made it. Avoided mom 3 months. Fear. He came looking at her apartment. How he knew location. Reached out. She'd filed. Realized naivety. Trusted uniform instinctively. Public servant preventing wrong turn. Reassured self. Probably just drugged crazy guy meaning no harm. But the outfit/behavior deliberately mimicked authority to lure cars. Why? Glad I didn't find out. Story 10. Age 8. Road tripping Wyoming with mom and little sister. Common. Family across state. Memory patchy. Recalled more by mom's reaction. Wyoming roads mostly deserted. Drove hours behind an old green-white truck. Approaching a gas station, sister excited for wax juice bottles. Truck pulled in. We followed. Used restroom. Got snacks. Mom gassed up. Back on road. Mom asked, "Same truck behind us?" I confirmed yes. Mom uneasy, kept checking mirror. Truck tailgate dangerously close, then backed off, repeatedly. Nearing next station, mom adjusted mirror to see us. Pulling in. I'll open door like getting out. Don't open yours or get out. Hang on. Sister and I exchanged scared looks. Mom's calm but formidable presence. 5 tall, 100 pounds. Friends feared her. Pulled to pump. Mom watched mirror, opened door, engine running. Green-white truck parked beside turn in. Driver popped hood, fussed under it, back to us. Big to an 8-year-old. Mom slammed door, peeled out. Man startled, looked right at us. Shut hood, seconds after looking. Mom sped, terrified me. Road bent sharply left ahead. Small right road with buildings. Just before bend, mom slammed brakes. Yanked wheel right. Action movie slid around corner into a building's parking lot. Parked hidden behind it. Watched green-white truck speed past around bend. Shaken, we needed restroom. Mom, I'd rather piss my pants in this car than be murdered roadside. Waited, then back on road. Never saw truck again.